of the Gemara, Masechet Shabbos, Masechet Gemara Shabbos, Masechet Gemara Shabbos, Masechet Sanhedrin, Masechet Eruvin, and Masechet Brachos, as well as Masechet Pekiah, and bits and pieces of Masechet Sukkot. Description extending all variable forms of the structure of these Gemara together as a unique tie to Kabbalah. So part of it is pointed out for the Gemara, which is about 4,000 pages, or 20 out of 22,000 pages, plus maybe a couple thousand plus pages of Gemara, simplified down to a unique structure. So we can go from anywhere. We can go from brachos to Shabbos to brachos, whatever Aaron to Shabbos to brachos. No matter what, we can go through all of them, and you need to kind of and fashion them in a formulation that processes all the descriptions for all the Gemara. So what I want, but I'm not going to be able to understand all of it yet because it didn't do the Gemara a million times. But let's go. The structure of Shabbos is basically, of course, 39 distinct malachos. What I mean by 39 is 40 minus 1. 40 is the one that's unknown. 40 is one that's unknown, which malacha is forbidden, which is not permitted. These are the structure of the Shabbos. I basically have an idea and I understand of what exactly malacha is. Basically, a type of work that was done in the Mishnah, ascribing to certain actions that can be done based on derivation. When we left easy, we left in hot. As we said in Sukkah, we left in hot, as we say in Sukkah, the different properties of Sukkah, how high it is, how long it is, and how tall it is, how many people have to build the Sukkah, how much open space it has to have, how much time, how much collective energy, and who was in a certain power of someone within the Sukkah, and the person was in the Sukkah, and it was a hard, and they would question why she was in the Sukkah. She's a woman, and women are not obliged to the laws of the Sukkah for time-bound mitzvah. But for non-time-bound mitzvahs, women are prescribed in, and men are prescribed in time-bound, and it's going to be a non-time-bound mitzvah. So, and this is the description. But why the woman said has to keep the Shabbos is that's a time-bound mitzvah. That is, everything has a parameter, has a rule, has a junction that discreetly from the structure of what is allowed or not, what is connected, unified. And we also do some math and exercises like the triangles of the formulation A plus B squared equals C squared. This is called in English called the Pythagorean triangle. Pythagoras' idea from Greek time. There was a scholar who basically came with the A plus B squared equals C squared from deriving it from shapes and basically putting shapes around the triangle. And that's just another derivation, which yields up to trigonometry and other stuff as described in certain levels of sephirim, such as sacred Sarah, which denotes the perfect creation, which means formulating creating things that are saying shameless names of Hashem, which means names of Hashem, the structure how things are formed. So basically, the structure how things are formed, the connection, the unification, the timeline, the structure, everything has a time. Right? According to Chagiyah, is how the world, all the universe is mentioned, but we shouldn't discuss what's above, what's below, what's before, what's after, and different dimension, all the universe in different times. And you should not try to figure out what is in the season. Because some things are not meant for at this time frame. Everything in the time frame is another year. And the Shabbos is unique in the sense that it connects to two places, a lot more unique Gemara, such as Aaron. Aaron using a halacha, how much one can carry in Shabbos from Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah, which is that from Aaron, which is a calendar, which makes you a big junction. So this rabbinic junction folds and fashions all the connectivity and unification structure and structuralizes how much one may be able to transfer to the Rava, which is the effort. But before we delve into what the Rosh Hashanah is, we understand what is the Rosh Hashanah and what is the Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is a biblical ordination. Actually, I'm wrong. Rosh Hashanah is a rabbinic ordination. There's Rabban, which is a Rab, which is a Rabbin, Rob is Rob. Rob is a basically interchangeable. Let's say I can interchange it as the alpha can take one and put out. There's definitely some discrepancy behind it. There's maybe a formulation where we can take from one rather than abbreviate to another. A formulated estimate one that's a different tone, a different junction, different connection. And that's the structure of the structure Irving. Irving is a junction which says what one can come from one domain into another domain from one time. But the domain really, really say how much some move, how much transfers the body from one place to another. Not this sort of results in anywhere, but the body, the unique body, and then choosing out the element. Yeah, but I'm going from a basic junction where I'm in, the friend has to give capability to use use as a measuring tool, which example continuing that. Uh, and we discussed which is valid and which is the other. But actually discussed which is valid. But it was just a yucca that was pinnacle. I know I'm wrong, which is a yucca, yachida, the final tool, that comes straight from that, and the structure how the biblical ordination. The biblical ordination went one is marriage. So the discrepancy between biblical ordination and a biblical ordination is can be death penalty. Certain law. The rabbinic ordination is a rabbinic ordination is something that's done by the Israelite runner to block people from doing certain crime, yielding up to being able to say, I should have much yield the dilemma of choosing, which is involvement and which is the outlet. Which is involvement is the time and time of one dimension, unifying thinking, bridging time and attempting all of the variation of sides that describe the triangle as the A equals B fusion, where A and B will be the same line, which A equals 2 down B, which is B equals 2 down, so A equals B, which equals 2 down, so A equals B equals 2 down, and what do we think 2,000? We have to measure 2,000 hours. And when we do an hour, we talk about 5 to 6 hours. It depends if you do time or whatever, you just never do that. We're trying to that's the structure how much it is. One, it was a part was actually was allocated money to doing time, that's the structure how many. That's talking about how much it's a different type of measure, a different type of ordinance, you know, camping formulation. So that's the structure of two parts, which is survival and which is the other and carry. Carry from one dimension to another, to one junction to another junction, from one place to another, and all the other applicability, how much one can carry from one to another, formulating how much space one can carry, to cover which is survival and which is the other. Now we're going to talk about how much one can carry and which is survival, and can it actually through a ball from a Shizamama pitch is the other. So the Shizamama, as we discussed earlier, is a biblical ordination that means it's going to some use of Italian and everything. And no, I'm wrong. The Shizamama is a biblical junction, and the Shizamama is a biblical ordination. So one is rabbinic and one is biblical. Rabbinic one is a Shizamama, and then no, not the which is environment and the pinning one, and the Yahweh is the biblical one. So the term for which is the Yahweh, which is Rava, which means which is the Yahweh is which is the Yahweh, is which is the Yahweh, which is the Yahweh is a biblical ordination, whereas which is Rava is a rabbinic ordination. So easy term for which is Rava, which is Yahweh, or which is the Yahweh, which is Rava, the structure of putting one of the 39 time, which is 2 to 4. Why do you think 2 means it has a 2 success capacity? For both of them. But one which is 2 to 1 which is 2, and actually if one person throws a ball or a stone or anything to another person, and then regardless of big glass or destroys vineyards or whatever, doesn't matter what it is, the structure of being a problematic. Not a very wrong thing, yeah, because it's big, but if it doesn't jump back and stop from the intention, مثلا پروفایل کامل فکر کنم اینجا فکر خواهی آقای کامل ماشي وقتنا قابل فواجع on even my team has one of a good deal of structure and structure for me. And that's beside the point. So the coverage is loud and the coverage is the coverage carries out from one giving clean and so yeah, I don't know how much one has to, if it's anything you can carry, you go wash the string, even a shoe, whatever, if it's still into something, no matter what you're doing, and into doing, if it's a comment, you can do it, that kind of stone. So we're going to learn and some heading. We know shops is stone, we're going to learn English one, strangulation, fire, sword, and pellet. We're not going to deal with strangulation. We're not going to deal with fire and pellet, and sword pellet. But we all going in this. I ideally go with pellet, and, and that's called skila. Skila is a terminology meaning how much one is there. It shows when we should not mile, she's a bother, she should be a woman how much they can move, fast, bring down structure, take a bird from a Shizuaka, anything else. Even they have book off a building from a Shizuaka, and so many other things. Even you cannot transfer, it was too long. Transfer and also carry. And carrying is too long. Java which is the we talked about which is long, the subject carrying transfer from one dimension to another, unstructured right, how punishment for carrying transfer from a unique unit, structure and formally and all the instruction that one can be breaking a lot the unique laws of Java and formulating a response and the punishment for unifying expecting but one can carry from which is rather to the other. So the which is a yakin which is around don't just go one way and we see it. Which is around the physical man, which is the yakin and which is around the cynical and the yakin the physical. I see one thing. Much kind of transgression of it, doesn't matter what one can it could be a paper but if it doesn't actually hit or go within a specific state, which is a different part which is a lot which is and that can be problematic. But if it goes through then that they can be different there's alleyways or highways or plaza, and all these things have good terminology, but we're just going to go to one unique time. Alleyways is how I was looking at that as well. So unique alleyways is doing how much an alleyway is such a, and really alleyway, how all these things really the same thing, but just two different alleyway and highway, and how this means a place where the decisions happen people, and why we learn things like that. The unique form, so the decisions happen people, the matter people, and then got the Torah, and they also was in the Mishkan and stuff, and things were done in Mishkan. Before things were done in Mishkan, or the base Mishkan, but not allowed to inside because the Mishkan is very dark, and everything has started from the accident where it comes from. So it came from it totally came from the shop, but then I give behind this is which is Torah, which is about and we got it to one, which is okay two, we got it carrying transfer with sentiment to mission. And we want to learn what mission is a temporary structure. Meaning, like a sukkah, a boat. Like when we left the Egypt, left in sukkah. We also got other research from the Egyptian British on Java to get reason. So that's the structure which is lava, which is the and carrying transfer with mission, which is temperature. And we also use the components and all that. And also the building which is carrying roughly medium, like carry them when they really need to the move and temperature besides the one. So that's the structure. So it's just lava, which is the carrying transfer and which is lava, which is the carrying transfer, which is lava, which is the carrying transfer. Michigan. So as we know when I know in business example, you talk about how much one can Uh, if someone carries something on top of them, you know what do they carry when they wear, what do they do to basically present it? If I wear, they can take it from the hands of them, that idea behind it you have there. You know weight is not normally going to shop. Every single long shot is done by certain things that we're not unified then shot. So if something was done shot that way and was done somehow, they can't really do it in the way that it's done normally. So that's for everything that we can do. We only cover a few things. We're gonna carry something to this integration and because of the top and how many words and what we represent both sides of the and make from one side doing on top of the other person wasn't aware that it's not meaning something to turn up an apple or a ball or an object. Even if it's funny down here, but anything else in person things on top and they can actually carry it and so that it doesn't actually communicate. It actually done. It's done the way it's been shot. Not done with something too bad. But sometimes and that's the structure how people can kind of just a lot of musicians we have and on Shabbos and Benin and other Mishkan, which is temple, which is the sukkah. So the structure of all these things relate to how much one you can unify all the different variations of all like the carrying on Shabbos, which is lava, which is the So now, as discussed before, the construction of what it can basically was covered through the alpha two, and the structure of how everything, maybe in a half of it, I'm not sure. And that's the structure of carrying and construction. So this law extends from anything. It doesn't matter what it means, right? It connects to a formula when six present, what it is, it's carrying, but it has to be, but it's also common from one dimension to another dimension how it has to carry it has to carry the way you can really carry on Shabbos from the way we do it in Mishnah. So as we do it from Mishnah, we do it charge it because it's first influence, and then the actions where everything stems from, and we derive it from that. The structure of Shabbos is from the rule, but we can always say the actions are from the rule. Anything else we can't say, we know when we can have no thought in there. And even I'm not God, and I'm not none of them. And there's a structure now, it's just a Robin, which is like a tournament. But how, but there's also other planets, which is Robin, and it's just a Robin, not only the biblical, not only the biblical nation, every rabbinic is like a Judaism. But that's only what it's a people who stay two seconds, whatever, and say that, and to definitely put at least it was in the ancient Greek civilization, and we think for that, it might not be as soon as that. So these, and not only was she surviving, but shifting, skimming, and robbing is a thing. And shifting, green, yellow, biblical. Biblical is ordained by something, or and it's a hooping. A hoop means something that's not known, so it can't be machine, can't be before, can't be can it's just a hooping. It has no rational reason, except for some says whatever. We can understand the reason. It's a coupon, and it's such everything how to relate to the unification of how the shop is doing that. Uh, we understand partially in terms of information, but everything along is based on why it happens that way, or something like that. Why is that? We don't know. Only more going to and even if we wouldn't, or we still wouldn't, there's some creative in it. We can structure faster, the connection, equation, 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 construction of two to ground. As you said, using this information, everything has to be ground and structure of the government. Is man or woman, tall or short, strong or weak, nice or mean, happy, sad Even feelings is particle of the energy and information with formula creation, how they do form. That's interesting, but let's think that that's argument. That's an interesting interaction. That's a thing in we talk about Shishivana, which is Yoga, Karen, Catherine, Mission, and next is the Catherine, and continue on. Or should say Yaka is a structure that one can carry from a physical meaning and unification, formulation, form, fashion. Not only that, play there's also other rules and genre such as a house. There's different different things. So having a house is like hutting. A hut is a courtyard. A courtyard, let's say, it didn't have the courtyard. Some courtyards grow grapes and courtyards have just grass have nothing. Depends on how a person wants to make a courtyard. But generally speaking, a courtyard is an extent if it doesn't have people on the internet, I say gather one and not be problematic for carrying Shabbos from the Shisa Yakan to Shishavam or Shishavam to Shishavan. Though, if it's your property, you can send the essential from it, from your property to that outside the Yavan and form it. Why you say that? A hut is like your property, meaning that you own it, so it's only essential from your property, like you're being in the house, you can move the house and move it out, and there's no which is biblical domain, the property around it. And what we have to do is just environment. Let's continue on with the environment. It's just environment is a structure kind of from different from rabbinic domain. And a biblical is definitely a rabbinic domain. A rabbinic domain is one is that the rabbis do not ordain to go against try to protect make a value again kind of transfer shot from one unique place to another unique place because we know the 2 hours within might it's not biblical. 2 hours it's really biblical because it's domain not. So there's different types of properties. There's one property where basically it's a house or another house. And the house is even if the house has one alleyway going through it, that alleyway has that alleyway has seen thousand people going through with cars or buses, trucks, or motorcycle, anything. Because there's 10,000 people going through the house between the two houses, one house on the left, one house on the right. Left hand side is left hand side, and the street going through. It could be done in a certain way, like the people that were thousands years ago, or hundreds of years ago, horses and that, or the last 200 years of technology observing things and formulated stanza of different domains. So it's just a biblical name means everything. One that an alleyway is not 18 ounces, which means let's say an ounce is a foot and a half. So it's 18 times 1.5 is 27. 18 plus a half of 18. Half of 18 is 9. So 18 plus 9 is 10. And that's how many feet. Because it goes to different things here. 18 plus 18. Because 18 times 2 is 20. So the idea is that 1.5 ounce for domain is 27. So 2, 2 ounces is and 2 feet is only 36. There's 2 times 18, so that if it evaluates that thick, that that's considered problematic. But if an alleyway, that's percentage to 1. How much thick can the alleyway be? You know, it can be you go horses over other, a buggy, horse and buggy area. So that's the structure of how many elements are thick are doing it. So that's 36 ounces. Or 27, depending if it's an Africa, it's 250 coming out. And almost 5 to 6 percent depends on me. The temperature is a kind of high. The point is not I want it, but today we usually say 3 to 4 inches. And inches, we know inches is possible for an inch structure. How many elements, how many, and the structure, how much, how much, how much is about. Unless you survive, choices you whether it's surviving and the finish and surviving and the biblical So we can connect all these three parts. Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah, carry, transfer, Rosh Hashanah, carry, transfer, domains, Mishkan, 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 and also how much and what exactly is Rosh Hashanah, what exactly what is Rosh Hashanah. So we can continue a little bit more on what exactly Rosh Hashanah should be up there. So there's 600,000 people going through an alleyway between two houses, between houses. So yeah, like that one, that one. That's it. Imagine my hands being 18 hours away from each other, and with cars buzzing through it. Imagine you have cars buzzing through it, trains and motorcycles and people walking there, and also the highway structure. And that's because it was just yucca. But it was just a robin and then when there's imagine having a house, and house. But there's not in that because and that carries through a specific area on Shabbos. And not only that, it's just a robin and yucca and how much one can carry from it. Based on this, but it was just a Yaakov was a bit of a coordination, and then behind the 18 operating son, and imagine buses and trains and horses and buses and everything, which contain people, they keep their own thing. And not only that, the hands are supposed to be 8 not 8 is 6 feet away, not the road 6 feet away, but horses and every single thing. That's the structure of how much that has to be. So you consider what typically again, not to consider to Raisa. But biblical the way is considered carry and transformation. This is all, and that's the way and the structure how many armors and how many trucks and how many all whereas we have to rationalize that is a few things. I think but yeah, modern big imagine the house a lot more 100 houses that's spread out, only a few people in the house and that's on the neighbor, it's not gonna talk. So the cover should see Robin should see and what's in and community and ability to assist Robin and see and imagine and she's Robin this is Robin it's that this is out this is out this is out this is but one that was just Robin one to but covered by street alleyway in between the houses on both either side of it and there's an alleyway between one can cross goes through the hand, goes through another, from one to another. Yeah, so imagine the hand being two hands that give the power to it. A road going through doesn't have power, whatever it is, maybe horizontal roads going through it, and that's what. So it's just lava, it's just the other Michigan domain, Karen. Images of buses and trains going through this road too. It's just a lava and this is the other an alleyway and transfer of ball out and then for one person. And, and now we're not going to just discuss this as well. It's just a yacht, which is a lava, which is a yacht, which is a lava is not just a biblical, rabbinic thing. It also has some practicality. Because Rosh Hashanah has some rule you can't carry out because you can't carry out when Rosh Hashanah because Rosh Hashanah estimates that tries to make a boundary between big and small. So we know the structure. There's also other structures in marble and the rock in the Copenhagen talk about it. Yeah, there's this construction made. I tried to understand the structure of the part like the unification of Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah and Shabbos, and the Raisa. we do the better, and how much each one has. Um, Now, considering all the properties in which is large, which is the upper, you have to also consider the power of what it yields. It yields a descriptive form to do that, what is boundary, what is right and what is wrong. The structure how many armors and teflon and all that. So we're going to see we're going to I'm saying it. It's just a router, it's just the upper, domain, carry, transfer, um, teflon, and armor. And as we went into the olden time day, they can measure an armor by all by length of like elbow to an arm. So this is the way unification of how many fucking armor conclusively, and so the application is long how much community carry was working transfer. And sorry for coughing. And it's just a yakin is a structure of finical meaning. How many into a finical time. No, I'm wrong. She said, which is wrong, and everything, and which is yet different. Not only which is wrong, the finish, it's like a derisa, because any taking anything of biblical ordination is called now, because it's yielding the health now. Let's discuss the structure of, the shoot itself. What and we have to know terminology. That's just means to me. Yakın tepkiler, savaşı, benim yakın tepkiler, mesela şey, سوزن شعبة السعادة أفضل مثلا الشيء سوزن yakın tepkiler مش كل يكون في خير وجه لكن شعبة tepkiler شعبة باش سوزن شعبة السعادة domain is a Chinese concept from the system the given types and modes of notification, the ways we want to and a lot more. The ways in the transit shower and how we relate to trying to unify connect that in all unique way is how we do the shower formulating the structure the ways one can carry, we can transfer, we can read, we can admit, we can connect, and we can visit, which is involved in is like a boundary. It's like a boundary you shouldn't break, you can't break, you shouldn't break. You can break, you shouldn't, right? Yeah. And this is a great structure, how Shabbos and Holiday are really unified together, and all formulated, all put together, knowledge connected in all unique ways. This is a unique structure of Shabbos, unique structure of all of that, and we're going to Shabbos itself for the future, and I'm glad to tell you, I'm trying to send you a few hundred itself, but this is the first a couple of dollars of necessity commercial, as I'm proud to say that I think well, and I'm continuing on with it longer and structure and make a relationship, a connection in the future, how shops will connect, which is a unique way of saying what is permissible, what is not permissible, what is allowed, what is not allowed, what can be done, what can be done, where the laws came from, how it was used, all the structure and foundation of Judaism based on the Shara, and especially how all the noise, and then I'm trying to tie in a unique basic construction of all the guys Shara was talking about Shabbos area, Shabbos area, Sanhedrin and Brooklyn, all yielding can unify a complete part that brings about reality and structure. Hopefully, yeah, bigger. express the connectivity of everything. So, so basically what we call it the laws of the system of everything, which is around them what they are, and the property, and this is what we call that. And that was the first lecture again. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can be looking forward to ask questions as well. So unify connect to different parts, and I'll try to figure out how many videos we have, and so, and see what else coming. And that's a unique way to express it, and hope you enjoy. And I'm sure, I think probably more than 2,000 actually, and I think it's a great job, you know? And thank you for having me. Oh, I forgot to do things that hot. I forgot to do things that hot. So, there's different, but basically I did express it also, so, but I'll say in a brief explanation. Which is, the domains which are considered forbidden or not permissible, allowable, are basically, ones are basically, one, very good explain, I say, so international issues around these okay, and also, to example, but I did explain that I agree with the trend of that. And also other terminology I can use. So just before I hang up with that, I'm going to tell you what a few things. What we're going to write it down here. So this is my question. This one second, my head will disappear from the computer. So I'm going to do a thank you. Thank you. Thank you. On one side, right? You see it? Nothing.谢谢杨辉，谢谢杨辉，谢谢杨辉，还有杨辉，你听什么？嗯，嗯，嗯，嗯，嗯， okay. So basically, we talk again. Basically, we talk about was the puppet of the two dimensions, Shishiraka and Shishiraka and puppet. This is it. Shishiraka, which is I'm going to write about each one. Sorry, my thing. So Shishiraka is a biblical ordination, a rule, biblical, but Shishiraka is a biblical rule for different rules. And here, but Shishiraka is a biblical rule for Shabbat. Everything here is for Shabbat. So excuse me, Shishiraka is a biblical rule. Shishiraka is biblical rule. Shishiraka is biblical rule. Raw, raw, David, yeah, carry. is actually what you can't do in JavaScript. You have left, no no muffler when the things are acting in orientation, but still you have to keep it because it's kind of outside and the same time and trying to balance it. That's hard to say why. Domain in Michigan. Michigan is a temperature, meaning that some and they left the year in Michigan and they left. And I hope you really enjoy that video and you come here next time. If you if you want me to explain a certain person, like I have a few minutes here, whatever I can explain, um, just what is it? I'm only here to keep that in a unique collection. I should basically give it information of a few thousand more in a unified collective form, balancing of how much one can attain in a unique way, and basically expressing it over three times and connecting to images through images such as like trains, buses, and uh, body language, gestures, and other the formula can connect all you need with the carrying transfer from one domain to another domain, which is the which is the which is the value, and mention all different parts of it. How can I say that?